Assume you are a search product manager at Flipkart. As being a search product manager, how would you want to sequence the search results? So let's start it. Hey Supriya. So my question is the following. Assume you are a search product manager at Flipkart. There are many users who come every day to search things on Flipkart. As being a search product manager, how would you want to sequence the search results?
Absolutely. Oh, we are talking about Flipkart particularly here as a PM, and we are talking about the sequencing of the search results. Correct? Okay.
Yes.
So before diving into it, let's quickly set a little context here, and I would also share my assumptions. So we are talking about Flipkart, which is an e-commerce platform, essentially a marketplace where users come and buy products of their choice, and these products are basically listed by sellers across. And Flipkart, from my understanding, Flipkart mainly operates in India, I guess. I don't
Yes.
think they're operating anywhere else. Yeah. So
Yes.
our market is India, and given the level Flipkart operates at, we are taking in view cities like I guess tier one, tier two, and tier three, all level of cities. Correct? Okay.
Yep.
Also, a quick intro into how a user actually behaves on Flipkart. So, I mean, of course, there are a lot of channels, via which traffic comes in, but a very basic mode of how a user interacts would be maybe number one, open the Flipkart application, navigate through the application a little, search for what they are looking for, navigate through the search results, pick whatever they are interested in, look into that product, and then further decide if they want to buy it or not. Buying is like a total different chapter altogether. So, I mean, let's not get
Not
into that.
just app, website as well.
Website as well, yeah, the app or the website. Also, okay, and we are talking about the search results. So, as in how the search results look like, as in what sequence they're supposed to come in to make, uh, to basically best serve in the interest of the consumer. Okay. Also, a few clarifying questions here, since we are talking about Flipkart, which already has like a complete search thing available, and I don't think we really need to get into if it's like website level or app level. We are talking about across, as you mentioned, right? And no
Yep.
particular kind of users. We are probably talking about users across, maybe first-time users, or maybe people who frequently buy from Flipkart, and we are optimizing for all, basically.
Yep.
ठीक है, ठीक है. And how does Flipkart right now deal with the search? So we have, of course, a search bar. Apart from that, we have filters and we have sorting. I guess that's
There
the
are two main journeys
hmm,
in entire Flipkart. There is search and there is browse. So people can just search for the item which they want, or they can just go to Flipkart and see the menu, find the categories, subcategories, and browse as well. So there are two types through which people go. It's approximately 50-50 split.
got it, got it. One is identifying products via the categories listed, and another is the search when you actually type what you were looking for. Got it, got it. Okay. And again, since we are talking about a very large audience here, Flipkart has like a huge, massive base. So I don't think there's only one goal that we are making the user trying to buy here, right? So there are multiple aspects to it. So are we talking about more about, say, conversion here? Are we talking more about engagement here? Or what's the key challenge that we're
Good
facing?
question. So you come up with what the goals could be, and I would add on. Okay.
Okay, ठीक है. Okay, I'll quickly touch base here. So I think the main things that are really relevant to the conversation today, and number one, of course, conversion is like the main, like the gospel's truth kind of a thing here. So conversion, number one. Then engagement, I think on the level that Flipkart operates, engagement is again very important. And when we talk about both of these things, a few things that I can think of are, of course, the conversion rate, the click-through rate, how many people are actually clicking on what they're searching for. Then when we talk about click through, bounce rate comes into the picture automatically. How many people are bouncing back looking in the search results. Then we can talk about, so all of these things we can talk about later, like satisfaction score or stuff like that, how
Hmm.
people actually find it. Correct? Okay. Okay. So since you already asked me to set the goal myself, so are we also going to get into some numbers? If we have any numbers, as in this is the conversion right now, this is the CTR right now, and we would like to improve it by so and so. Anything?
Let's take it from scratch. Just assume what would be the best way. Okay, maybe you can, for ease, you can just understand it just runs on randomizer or something. And how
Yeah.
would the ideal way look like? That would be enough.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so I don't think we really need to delve into numbers at this point since we are just looking in overall optimization. Okay, so in that case, I guess I would just quickly like to summarize the goal here. So we are trying to optimize the search result sequence for the users who come onto the platform to maximize conversion, of course, and also to make sure that the engagement looks well on the platform.
Okay,
Would that make
fine.
sense?
Uh, sure. Also, just one thing, see, conversion is fine. Maybe you can also see if there's a pinch of user experience which you can add. However,
Yes,
that,
of
right?
course. Right. So we have our goal in picture. When we have our goal, so I mean, I would go like step by step. So I'll quickly also let you know how I'm going to go forward. So we have already set the goal. We'll also now look into a little of the user segments. What kind of users are we primarily targeting for? Then maybe we can prioritize one or two user segments and look into their jobs, their pain points, and then come up with some possible potential solutions. And then we can also run a little into, if time allows, then we can also run into prioritization, and then we can kind of have a discussion over it. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So talking about the segments, since we've already established Flipkart only works in India, so I guess the number one thing here would be price sensitivity. So, of course, there's a huge group. So, India is a very price sensitive market, as we know of today. So, I think we can definitely, that can be our number one group, that is price sensitive buyers. Then, since India is also a budding economy, there are a lot of aspirational buyers in the country right now. So, we can also talk about brand conscious buyers, people who are okay with the pricing but would really like premium quality and maybe premium brands and etc.
Okay.
Then, given people like me who are always usually late on time, so there are also like urgent buyers who may primarily focus on fast delivery and what can I get in the next day or like the second day. And fourth, I guess we can keep the fourth category quite general. People who just come onto the platform, scroll through, look for random things, more like exploratory search. So, like maybe explorers who just come onto the platform, browse through, find something, and they go for it. So these are the four categories that I can think of right now. Number one, price sensitive buyers. Number two, brand conscious buyers. Number three, um, urgent buyers, people who prioritize delivery, etc. And number four, explorers, exploratory buyers. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Um, okay. At this point, I would like to present my screen so that we can just, keep noting down everything. Okay, yeah. So we have the screen here. Yeah, so what I do usually is this is a little template that I've prepared for myself. It helps me be organized. So, I mean, that's what I've used here. So we are already done with context and assumptions. We've had our share of clarifying questions. We've set the goal. We have a few success metrics in mind. Then we have a few metrics, like some monitoring metrics also. We've talked about user segmentation. So I'll quickly write that down here. Price sensitive. And guys, please excuse the spelling mistakes and just break.
Definitely go ahead. I mean, I'm telling on behalf of others also. You are doing your interview and it's your rough note, kind of. So,
Yeah, thank you. Then price sensitive, we've done that. Then we talk about brand conscious people. Then we were talking about urgent buyers. And the last thing was exploratory. Great. Then we talk about the jobs to be done. So I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Still, just a quick glance at it.
yeah.
So price sensitive, jobs to be done. Find budget-friendly deals, discounts, coupons, and basically a good comparative analysis of, I mean, a good compare between different products of different brands, different prices, so that someone can compare. So basically, a good comparative pricing there. because of course we all love to compare the prices. Then we talk about brand conscious buyers. So I guess the key job for them is that feeling of being a premium user,
Premium.
premium thing, right? So premium, then brand status maybe. What kind of brands that we have, what status do they have in the market in general?
Hmm.
And of course, again, so when we talk about brand status, we also have to make sure that there's an exhaustive list of brands that the users can browse through. So exhaustive brands. Then we come about urgent buyers, mainly that's about delivery, how quick that can be, and exploratory buyers. So people who are exploratory are often interested in seeing new categories, new things, maybe some things that's new in the market. For example, when the that fidget thing came up in the market, people were, you know, going all gaga over it. So it's about new products, categories, um, maybe brands also. Cool. Okay, so I guess these are the main jobs to be done here. Uh, any suggestions or anything that you would like to input here, Anuttam?
Yeah, this is good actually. The users, types of users are covered. Uh, there are new users also who we don't even know who they are. So that's a
Yes.
different way. That's a vertical probably when this is a horizontal. So it's fine. So these are good enough. Let's
Okay,
check
cool.
out how it's happening.
Okay, okay. Now we can talk. Now, I mean, if you suggest, we can pick, say, one or two user groups and then talk about their pain points particularly. I mean, in the interest of time, I don't think it would be feasible to do it for all. So, would you like to suggest which one to pick, or
Price
can I
sensitive.
just price sensitive? Okay, yeah. I
Yes.
mean, of course, that's the majority of our consumer base here. Okay, so the price sensitive users. I think the number one pain that price sensitive users must find on. I think we can talk about number one, affordability. That's number one. Affordability. When we talk about affordability, it's
Hmm.
about how inclusive the products are with respect to their prices. If it's particularly for some one category, or if it's doable for everyone across. So
Yeah.
affordability, maybe we can talk about inclusive pricing. Then I guess another thing that becomes important in affordability is also about the kind of discounts or deals that they are
Okay.
able to get.
Got it. Next.
Then next thing that we can talk about is relevance, of course, since we are talking about the sequencing of the search results, relevance is extremely important. When I talk about relevance, what I mean here is um, people my age are really into candles right now. All my friends love candles, right? But those are more of soy candles or maybe scented candles, not the candles that we used to light our fulgeries with, those long ones. So
Hmm.
relevance is that the system should suggest the right output because there are thousands of kinds of candles, but right now what's really up in the market, that is more relevant to the user's choice. So when we talk about relevance, I think what comes into mind is uh, of course, number one, how relevant or irrelevant. So we are talking about the pain points. So I mean, yeah, how relevant and irrelevant is also. We can talk about how relatable the search results are. Yeah, the relatability of the search results.
That's okay. Yeah, relatability. Next, we can proceed to it.
Okay. Then next we can talk about price sensitive India. Trust again is very important. Although now we are at a stage where the Indian market is very open to e-commerce now, but still trust still remains a point of concern for
Okay.
maybe people in the senior age groups and all. So trust is another pain point. Uh, we can also talk about quality here when we talk about trust.
How do you define quality? Like how
Quality
would
as in, yeah. So I mean, of course, I do not have a very concrete definition of quality right now, but maybe the user is seeing a product that's maybe they are buying uh,
you can go with
a phone
ratings?
online. Sorry.
You can go with. I mean, okay. So fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just coming on to the point that maybe so if I'm buying a smartphone online, but the issues that I can have in quality is maybe the phone has some scratches on it. Maybe the
Okay. Understood.
charging doesn't work well. So like that. So the product that user is getting is in like 100% best shape or not, if the packaging and everything is as it showed on the website or not. So that is how I look at quality. And then lastly, I think again, when we talk about marketplaces like Flipkart, a very key pain point here is uh, overwhelming results. So, I mean, because there are thousands of products in all the categories, so the users kind of get overwhelmed with the results. We can talk about maybe overwhelming or overload. So that is another pain point that I think is very important to acknowledge here. Overload. So overwhelming results. Then, yeah, I mean, a lot of chaos can be there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything here? Any inputs here, Anuttam, in the pain points?
I think these are good enough. We can proceed to.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. So talking about the potential solutions, I'll start by each category, of course. Talking about affordability, now when we think of affordability, I think the number one solution that anyone can think of, give away more deals, give away more discounts, maybe slash pricing. But I think that is more of a business level decision, not a product level decision. So let's not really get into any of that. What we can do is try to optimize that the search results or the sequence that's coming that really prioritizes or that really reflects the kind of deals the user is getting. It's not about if it's a 100 rupees product or a
Yeah.
500 rupees product. If it's giving a 50 rupees off, then that 50 rupees should be really highlighted. So how Amazon also does it, like,
Mhm.
Amazon deal of the day or like flat 1,000 rupees off or something like that. So
Okay.
I think it's more about the visibility of the deals that the user is getting there. So that is number one. So number one solution will be around visibility,
Okay.
the deals. When we talk about visibility, then we can look into things like adding maybe product badges to the main deals of the day. Or
So I would just want to mention this point, Supriya. So these pain points are perfect, right? The potential solutions which I am looking at is how we
right,
sequence, not how
right,
we
yeah,
show.
yeah,
So the badges,
right.
etc., are fine. वो तो दिखेगा ही. Assume that they all will be visible, right? Wherever it's needed. Let's mainly focus on the sequencing part.
Right. So actually, I was just coming on to that if we have those badges and those labels, I mean, of course, Flipkart has that. So we have to prioritize those labels and badges. How when you search for anything on Amazon, the first result will always be deal of the day. So
Yep.
that is how they're prioritizing their deals of the day. So
Got it.
visibility. So okay, I'll reframe this. Prioritize visibility of the deals. I think that is how we can put it. Visibility of the deals or discounts.
Sure.
Okay. Uh, then I think another way to sequence, making sure that it's affordable. We can also kind of maybe club the kind of products that are visible to the user on the, I mean, in the search page. We can kind of club the products basis the pricing also. So, I mean, of course, there's a sorting and the filters and everything are there, but we can kind of maybe auto apply the filters basis the price there. So, given the user's search history or order history, previous purchase, Flipkart has all of that data available with it. So we can kind of determine the kind of range that the user follows. So maybe we can auto apply, and maybe that's called maybe smart filtering. We can auto apply the filter that may be the most relevant for the user. So if we think that this user is a potential buyer from the range of 500 to 1,000, we auto apply that filter and we display those products in that sequence. So I
Perfect.
think smart filtering is what we can call it. Um, Okay. So I think these are the two things that I can really think of at the
Got it.
moment. Um,
Could do. We'll continue. Yeah.
done. Okay. Then talking about relevance. So relevance, as I gave the example of that candles also, but how do we actually understand what the user's intent would be? So as any other solution approacher in the world today, AI and natural language processing is my answer to it. So we can use algorithms to kind of understand the user's intent basis the data that Flipkart already has, number one, basis the user level data also, because we are trying to give them a more personalized experience. We are making the user journey more personalized. So if the user has browsed something previously, and so we already know which products they clicked on, all of this data is something that we can track. So if the user has been into candles for really long, they would have already browsed it. They would have already checked a few items out. So we can kind of analyze all of that data, run algorithms, and then suggest what we can find best. So I think here what I would like to suggest is AI powered or any other natural language processing powered algos to understand users' intent. Because intent is very important. I mean, the nail cutters are also called trimmers, and then the beard shavers are also called trimmers. You just really need to understand what the user is looking for here. So, number one, intent. So, I think that is something that we can do via AI powered algos. We can understand what's really up in the market right now, prioritize those results. Then, when we talk about relevance, then since again, as I mentioned, all of these words or the search queries for the that the user puts in can be quite vague at points, and the system might have a lot of categories in that. So we can also do category-wise ranking. So, for example, I mentioned trimmers, right? So
Yep.
the first section, we represent the beard trimmers, then we talk about the nail clippers, then we talk about some other sorts of trimmers, etc. So the user can simply browse and see which category best fits them. So category wise ranking of products. And this will also give a more, I would say, a more clean view to the user if we have categories mapped out for each product, and they can simply swipe through and check which category really suits them. So I think this will also be a part of the UX thing that you were talking about. It can improve the user experience category-wise ranking. Talking about trust, so quality again, I don't think there's a lot that we can do about quality of the end product that the user receives. That's more of a business and operations level thing. But what we can do is that for the products that we know, so again, Flipkart has an advantage that they have thousands of reviewers and people are rating all the products, etc. So I mean, it always makes sense to make use of all of these levers. So the prioritization should also have a good mix of making sure that the ratings and reviews are kept into picture and we are leveraging whatever data that we already
Sure.
have. So anything that's above 4 should maybe come under the deal of the day or should be one of the main categories that are being shown to the consumers. So ratings and reviews, of course, do make a lot of impact. So we have to find a way to prioritize the ratings and reviews as well. So here we can talk about rating, reviews, and
It's okay. And the explanation need not be written. The points are enough for me, right?
done.
Just in the interest of time.
Done. And finally, we are talking about overload. So overload again, I mean, overwhelming results for the users. I think right here also, the solution that we discussed here, smart filtering, would make sense if we talk about it. So also smart filtering, and then of course we can also look into the dynamic positioning of the maybe the dynamic updation of the filters. So we can just simply do away with the filters that we do not find relevant for the users. We can do that in real time. I recently saw maybe there was some brand which was also doing this. Anyway, so filters is something that we can do. But again, talking about the sequence, I think smart filtering will make a lot of sense here also. So it will automatically do away with a lot of
Yeah.
chaos. And since we are already prioritizing the products with good ratings and reviews in the previous step, I think that will also help a lot in making sure that the kiosk is quite cleaned up and the user is suggested what they need, what they should be seeing on the
Yeah.
platform. So I think for now, smart filtering and the rating and reviews
That's already
would
mentioned
work.
above. Anyway, we are all of that is there. So it's okay.
Exactly, exactly. Cool. Okay, so these are a few solutions that I can really think of at the moment. Any suggestions from you, Anuttam? I would really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So these are good in terms of user, but uh, it's not just user, we are also seeing at business, right? If there is any flavor that you can bring, great. Otherwise, you can continue with this as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me just look into that also. So paid point from the perspective of Flipkart, that's business. So I understand when we talk about the sequencing of items, a very important thing that Flipkart really needs to keep in mind is maybe their partnered or sponsored brands. So they really need to prioritize them also. So they cannot just, basis all of this, they cannot just simply, of course, that's a very fair point that they can only not optimize for the users. So also have to keep that in mind. So talking about the business concerns, we Flipkart has these sponsored brands. Then they have some of their own in-house brands also, I guess, which they are promoting. Flipkart has, right? Um, okay, in-house brands, and then
We are
sponsored brands.
unable to see if you're writing it. Just.
Okay, it's on the next page actually,
Uh-huh,
maybe.
sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, sponsored brands, in-house brands, and then also I think a key role that these marketplaces play in the users' buying journey today is that they help them discover new products. So all these new brands like Sugar, Mama Earth, etc., all of them have come into picture only via e-commerce. Otherwise,
Yeah.
uh, the
Boat,
OG
biggest
brands were
example.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Boat also is the biggest example
Yes,
which.
boat, exactly. Of course, boat. So, I mean, earlier the brands used to be what Lakme, Oriflame, and
Correct,
when we
correct.
talk about electronics, it was more of JBL, etc. But yeah, boat is a great example for that. So, promoting new brands. That's another very important thing that really Flipkart has to look into to make sure that everything works well. So, talking about possible solutions, but here I think for promoting brands, the I mean that's also a strategy that marketplaces are doing right now. They use specific categories for the new brands. They have like this section where they only show the products of those new budding brands. Where, for example, that is how Boat also started. They had this entire thing going on Zomato, on Amazon, the carousel and everything. So specific categories for the new products. So that can be more of like a explore more section. So maybe after 3 or 4 products that we've seen
Okay.
via the above solutions, we can have like an explore more section where we promote the new categories or maybe the in-house brands that Flipkart also has. So
Okay.
category is something. And then again, this can be a good upgrade in the UI also because we are not just giving the user a simple UI results thing. We are also having little like we also have like little carousels in between. So category
That's okay. You're just stating that you have specific mention of these such brands, anything. We are anyway still looking at search results. So we'll stick to search results only.
correct.
Right.
Okay, so this and then talking about sponsor brands again. So sponsored brands, what um, I would say there's an upside to sponsored or in-house brands that Flipkart has because they have a lot of so they can actually monitor all of that on their own. So if there's an in-house brand that Flipkart has, they can really make sure that the trust is maintained for the user. They can make sure that it has the right kind of quality being delivered. If it has the right kind of quality, then of course the ratings and reviews would be well, and
Mm.
automatically the Flipkart products would make it to the top. Talking
Okay.
about the affordability of in-house brands, again, that is something that Flipkart is already doing. Flipkart has already
That's okay.
always,
Affordability of in-house brand is a very granular thing. In-house brand
yes,
is,
yeah.
so that's okay. That would do.
So I think the only potential solution I have for this section right now is these category specific carousels for maybe all of these brands, which can help user explore these better.
Fine. Let's
Uh,
proceed to the final prioritization part.
Prioritization. Okay. For prioritization, would you like me to use like a complete framework like RICE or MOSFET or anything like that, or we can work
No,
around with like
so it's like this, right? So there are thousands of products available when someone searches.
hmm,
You've seen what does Flipkart need, or whatever the e-commerce is, Amazon or whatever, and what does the user need. The needs are here and the products are here. Now, how would
Yeah,
you map those? Like, would you show those which have the cheapest price, or would you show which have the highest rating, or would you show which has the is the newest in the market, or what? How would you prioritize these pain points? Is
absolutely.
there's no I don't need any framework. Your wish.
Okay, okay, done. Okay. Okay, so since we are talking about price sensitive consumers right now, our number one goal will always be affordability to make sure that they find the best deals. So here, when we talk about affordability, smart filtering is a solution that I can see a lot of potential in because it will automatically do away with a lot of chaos and a lot of junk that the user might see in the search results. So prioritize. So I would really like to prioritize this. How do I do it? PP. I'll just mark it as PP for now. And
What
to
do you
say
mean by
that
people?
this is
What do you mean by PP?
just a
Sorry.
random. So like prioritization. So I'll rather do it
P0.
P1.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
P0, P1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
P0 cut it then, of course. Um, okay, so that will be our P0. Then, or actually, rather than this, we can actually do a little of, how do we say it, high impact, high effort, high impact, low effort. So that will also help us find out how long it will take us to
There
implement this.
is
If you want to get into that.
so we have the data about all the products, right?
Hmm,
Whichever is being sold on Flipkart, we have data about it. Now the only
hmm,
point is which item should I show on top? Assume someone is searching for mug or glass or bucket or comb. Okay. Now we know iska price kya hai. We know what its price is. We know what its rating is. We know how much time it will take for this particular comb to be delivered,
hmm,
right?
yeah.
Now I'm asking, now you actually taken the pain points. Now how do we know which one to show on top? सबसे सस्ता वाला, should we show the cheapest comb, or should we show the fast delivery comb, or is there a sweet spot in between both, or what? Let me know if you're able to understand what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, yes. But okay, so I don't think we can really come on to which products to show on top in this conversation. I think we can more about these solutions that we figured out, which will help us figure what those products are. I mean, that is what my understanding was. I think we can really look into the solutions that help us understand how EA products should be prioritized for the users.
The solution is straightforward. I'll in fact tell you what the solution is here, right? There are someone searches for a comb, you
Hmm,
know, all the pain points which you greatly mentioned, right? Very nice. Now with these, keeping these pain points, which comb should I show first is the thing, right? So if you have any comment on that, great, right? Because price sensitive hair people means we should
hmm,
show the cheapest comb. We know people need good rating. So
hmm,
using these potential solutions which you have, which is in fact the rating, the price, the time to deliver, these three, four, etc., which you come up with, how will you use those points to give the final ranking, if you can mention about that?
got it, got it. So I think rather than prioritization, we are looking at a more sophisticated solution here.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so what I do is, okay. So what I can think of right now is, so you basically want me to suggest how would we make sure that the best products are coming in the best sequence.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
given the solutions that we've listed, the approach that I would really like to follow to achieve that here would be number one, I would start with smart filtering, where the users' data will help them like auto selection of filters, etc. When these smart filters have already been applied, we can already see the products which fall into the price range of the consumer. We have the prices in place now. What we talk about next is how relevant that is to the user or how trustworthy those products are. So when we already have sorted them by the pricing, then we can talk about the ratings and the intent. So I think here again, the intent of the user is a little more important because I mean, anyway, the reviews and ratings are already there, but to understand the intent, we have to use all these AI powered solutions or basically any algorithm that can help us understand what the user really wants to see.
Got
So
it.
I'll first apply
Let
the
for
smart filtering.
sorry for ease, let's understand that his intent is clear. He is just searching for comb. एक ही type का combs available है. 10 from 10 different sellers or brands. So we need not worry if it's a Barbie comb he's searching or if it's a
Yeah,
woman's comb or a men's comb.
right.
For ease, let's put that aside. Okay.
Got it. Okay,
Continue.
ठीक है. ठीक है. So we've done the smart filtering. Intent is all clear. Then I think we can come back to the prioritization based on the ratings and reviews, the trust wala thing. So we already have a set of say 10 combs listed to the user, which really fall into the price range that is like best suiting their budget. Then we prioritize the products basis the ratings and the reviews, which I don't think there's any dearth of that in Flipkart. So then we can come on to the sequencing basis. So that's a very basic sorting. The highest reviews and highest rating goes to the top, then comes the second best, third best, fourth best. That's a basic sorting basis the ratings and reviews. Once we have that in place, then we can also, once we have this solution in place, then we can also look into the categorization of, so since you already mentioned, we are just talking about comb here, but for a bigger picture, we can also look into the categories. So smart filtering, prices done.
Hmm.
Ratings and reviews, sequencing of the products done. But how will, again, to make it better for the UX, to make the categorization better for the US, we can again categorize the products. Simple comb, hairbrush, another sort of comb, like that. So categorization of the products, which will also help us achieve the relevance here. Um, Once we've done all of that, then I think the overload is automatically
That's fine. Yeah.
the chunk is clear. Yeah, so I think these are the first three steps that we can implement initially
Cool.
to achieve the right sequence of it.
Got it.
And of course, in between, we will take our own sweet spot to make sure that our business needs are fulfilled, and we are also giving space to the sponsored and in-house brands.
Perfect. Cool. Just one question, maybe if we
Sure.
can do it, which is, say you have the ratings, you have the price, you have uh, it's things like that, time to deliver. Any way you want to use these three or four to actually give the result, because we cannot show सबसे सस्ता, the cheapest combs first 20, then the most expensive combs, then highest rated combs, then lowest rated combs. We can't do that, right? It should be mix.
Absolutely.
We need a
So
good.
basically, it's like a Venn diagram that we are creating here, and we are looking for the basically the middle part of
Hmm,
it.
hmm, 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 hmm.
What do we call it?
Any idea
Mutually
how we can do
inclusive.
that?
Uh, I think it should be fair. When we already have all of the data, I think it should be fairly simple to do it by running any basic algorithms. If we have all the reviews, if we have
Hmm.
the pricing, and if we also have the purchase and order history of particular products, which we already have. So it's fairly simple to do it via some any AI-based algorithms. In fact, I think to some extent, if our products are, if we are talking about only say 10 products, then ChatGPT can also do it for us. I mean,
Cool.
because that's a very small level that we're looking for. So that
Oh,
is a Venn diagram that is also, yeah, but that's again a very
fine.
important thing that we can do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's all from my end. Finally, I mean, I did mention the metrics initially, but yeah, to really note them down here, we can talk about the conversion rate, how many
Hmm.
users who saw the search results actually bought from those search results. Then another important thing is CTR. Maybe the user is seeing the correct product, but when they are looking into the description page, there's some problem with maybe the add to cart button. So conversion rate cannot be our only key metric here. CTR is also very important, how many
Yes.
people are clicking on the search results. Then again, another thing to monitor here is the bounce rate, how many people are actually going back when they see the search results, or maybe they're trying to search something else, they're trying to use another
Got it.
set of.
You mentioned these, so it's okay. I understood
Yeah,
that you want to summarize. Perfect. Got it.
yeah,
Cool. Anything else?
yeah, that is all. Yeah, nothing from my end. Yeah, that's
Cool.
it.
So, first of all, Supriya, thanks for actually a full-fledged answer. You actually tried to you followed a good structure, to be honest, right? You first of all summarized the question, which many people don't do. I asked the question, you might have thought it in a different way, but to ensure we both are on the same page, you summarized the question. Then you made your assumptions, which is it's Flipkart, so it's India, it's a marketplace, it's a website and an app, all of that. Then you also took me through the journey just to ensure again we both are on the same page. As a product manager, that's very important. After that, you also took some assumption. Yeah, then the user journey, right? You also told how the user comes, right? Then you is the goal. So very important for any product thinking question is to ensure what the goal is. So you highlighted one main point, which is the user conversion, right? So that's most important, which eventually is equal to GMV. The more conversions, the higher the GMV of the company, and that's what we all aim for, right? At the same time, user satisfaction could also be done, which eventually you did because of number overwhelming, etc. Time could also have been seen, how much time he or she is taking to get do his
Yeah.
purchase. The lower it is, the better the search is, right? uh,
Yeah.
Things like that. At the same time, I had to probably give you a small tip, which is business use case, but that's understood. We cannot cover everything, but yeah, business, what is it for business? So it's not just the conversion, but is there anything else? But with that small point, you were able to really, I mean, appreciate that you got in-house brands, promotions, and all of that. So that's again a nice point, right? Now, small points which I wanted to highlight here is always try to just see who the stakeholders are so that you'll get the goals clear. Here, there are, say, three stakeholders: the sellers,
Okay.
then the buyers, who customers are, and then three is Flipkart. So for sellers, what do they need? They should ensure that, bhai, at least some visibility I need. If there's no
Hmm.
visibility, I might not even get any sales. Then I don't even want to continue selling on Amazon or Flipkart. So that's one.
Right.
Second pain point of user, you written down perfect. Third, of a business, ki, I want more money, I want growth, I want stickiness, all of that. So most of the parts are again there, right? Stickiness, etc., could also have been added. Last
Yeah.
point, which I was trying to push, is now we know that these are the things which we need to focus on. Okay, if there's a new seller or a very trustful seller or price or time to deliver, etc. How do we show these? Is basically, say if someone searches for comb, we have 1,000 combs available. Now for each of these 1,000, we have data points of the price, time to deliver, distance, how many people have bought it, etc. So we ideally have to use all of these data points and create a weighted average. In fact, I've seen a few of the viewers tried putting it. So great, that I'm really happy that you all are actually following it. So we can use weighted average to see, to give a weighted. So you told affordability is the most important point, right? So we'll give 30% of weightage to affordability. Then say 20% for trust, 20% for relevance, etc., etc. Oh, that ideally has to be with a lot of research. But yeah, some weighted average to see that yeah, of some weighted average. Now, who would we score it is? Say a comb starts from 100 rupees to 1,000 rupees.
Hmm.
Now, 100 rupees is the highest weightage because affordability is the best, is what we are
Hmm.
thinking. And 1,000 rupees is the lowest weightage. Matlab, for 30 marks, 0 marks is for 1,000 rupee comb, and 100 marks is for, sorry, 30 out of 30 for the cheapest comb.
100 rupees.
Same way, rating 5 out of 5 ke liye we give 20 out of 20, and 0 out of 5 ke liye we give something like, yeah, 0 out of 20.
Zero.
With all of this, we just sum it up and see which is that comb which is able to score the highest. Very similar to how we were all graded during our schooling, which is a school topper is equal to whoever has got the total number of marks highest in maths, physics, chemistry, biology, etc. And you all know maths had highest weightage, English or say physics had lower weightage, etc. Where we are showcasing that maths jo top karega, good chances that he's a topper. Similarly, here we can put weighted average, and in fact, a
That's true.
component of the weighted average can also be the ad. If this brand, say whatever, Vega comb, right? If he or she is if that Vega is advertising in Flipkart, then we add one more point for it. That okay, this is an advertiser or a sponsor for us also. So let's see if we can
To
push.
fulfill the business needs also. Yeah.
Correct. To ensure वो थोड़ा ऊपर आएगा.
Yeah.
So that weighted average part could have also been bought, but otherwise,
Yeah.
all the things which one needs to reach to what weightage should I give, how should I give, is it needed or not, why, that was all covered. So that's perfect, right? Just this, how to sort it, how do I show it,
Yeah.
how do I sequence, that part could have been added here. This is
Absolutely
it.
no. That's so
Um,
actually that's a very fair and very straightforward approach. Yeah, that is something that should have been mentioned, of course.
Clarifying questions is definitely five. Understanding core jobs to be done. Yeah, since the business point was coming out later, I would probably say
Yep.
4 or 3 point or four. Yeah, like identifying one clear goal again, four, because it's not always one clear goal. It is a mix of business plus customer satisfaction, etc. So there 1 mark less because customers was completely identified pretty good. Business ka to ek hi tha, sponsors etc. had to be identified. So that's again a four. Understanding user pains, it's 5 out of 5. Clearly told about price sensitive, delay I mean, last minute order, all of that. So again, five there. Identifying and prioritizing the right solution. So yeah, so I'll first come to measuring the impact. Measuring the impact again towards the end, she again summarized. So that's again a five. Identifying and prioritizing the right solution until you get all the pain points and all was actually five. But then to put it in weightage, that was not there. So again, I would go with say four. So I guess I don't remember now again if I have to, but I hope people have followed the reason and the rationale of why I wanted to give certain score, right? Yep.
Yeah, so I guess amazing experience. It's always amazing to be interacting with all of you. And I think Anuttam's points were absolutely point on, like spot on. So, I mean, I guess that's the difference that comes with the experience that you're talking about here. So, thank you so much, Anuttam. I'm definitely noting all of this down, and it really helps. And you've been very nice, very patient, and at every point you tried to help and suggest. So, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice. It was a good experience for me as well. Supriya's answers, I mean, a good structure. She was able to follow most of the inputs which I was giving. So a really nice experience. At the same time, the audience as well, they were trying to give
Yeah.
all answers. Of course, Supriya would not have seen because she was focusing on her answer. But
Yeah.
as I was reading, I was seeing this is on the same screen, so I was seeing that. Really appreciate interest and the. Uh, yeah, the inputs from all of you as well. Great. That's it from my side.